Okay, the first question on the test review is like the first question on the quiz review. It's about finding the rule for an inverse function given the function rule. So again, the method, remember, inverse functions are just opposite of the function. They are the function that will undo this. Okay, so to create something that's opposite, the method we came up with eventually that was sort of the fastest track was first rewrite this with a y. That's just a different way to look at the same function. But now if we want to write the opposite, then switching the variables, switching the x and y is the first step in making the opposite. And now undoing what's being done to y, getting the y by itself. So add 17 to both sides, x plus 17 equals negative 4y, and dividing by negative 4 on both sides, so y equals x plus 17 over negative 4. So this is the inverse function. So we write inverse of f, that's how we write inverse of f, equals x plus 17 over negative 4. Okay, same process, just different setup. We're going to write this with a y. Y equals 3 over 2x plus 5. And now switch the x and y. X equals 3 over 2y plus 5. And now undoing what's been done, right? So right now we want to get that y alone. And right now y is in the denominator. We need to undo this denominator. So 3 is being divided by 2y plus 5. So you undo that by multiplying by 2y plus 5. Notice I'm putting everything in parentheses, right? So multiply both sides by 2y plus 5. These cancel and you end up with 2y plus 5 in parentheses times x equals 3. Now, y is being multiplied by 2, then 5 is being added, then the whole thing's being multiplied by x. We want to undo the last thing that's been done. So I'm going to divide both sides by x. And in doing so, these cancel, so I'm left with 2y plus 5 equals 3 over x. Now it's 2y plus 5 equals 3 over x. The last thing that was done was I added 5, so I'll subtract 5 from both sides. So these cancel, we have 2y equals, and now 3 over x minus 5 can't be combined, so we just write it. And the last thing we need to undo is divide by 2. So y equals 3 over x minus 5 all over 2. And you can just leave it like that. That's fine to leave it like this for now. I'm not worried about you distributing the division right now. This works as an inverse function. Simplifying it is a different process that I'm not as worried about. So the inverse of g of x is 3 over x minus 5 all over 2.